What's up everybody, I'm Matt Iulo. This is the Scalp Micro USA channel for everything scalp micropigmentation related. And today I want to show you guys some of my favorite results over the past year. So stick around. Alright guys, so actually it's been almost a year since the last time that I filmed one of these where I showcased some of my favorite results that we've achieved over at Scalp Micro USA. So it'll be a great time to show you what we've been up to the past year. Before we get started, you're probably going, what's that on your face, Matt? Is that a dead animal? Are you actually growing hair? You can grow hair? Yeah, I'm trying to grow out this beard. I'm filming this during the quarantine period here in New York due to the coronavirus. So figured it's a good time as any to maybe grow some facial hair. I've always had dreams of having a real burly woodsman type beard, and I've always, stopped short, and it's because I'm in that awkward phase right now where it's like not long enough but a little too long. So we'll see what happens, neither here nor there. But yeah, I want to show you guys some of the best results that we've achieved over the last year, and hopefully some of these styles, some of these looks are something that might fit you and you might get you excited about treatment. So let's get started. So first up is a client of ours that you've actually probably may have seen already because he's done a testimonial video for us. And if you haven't, you could follow one of the links here to check it out. And this is Travis. He completed his treatment in the fall of 2019, and I absolutely love how this came out. He had 2 sessions with me, so just 2 sessions. And you can see we went for a youthful, but also a little bit of a softer hairline. So it had a good shape to it, a very youthful shape, but was a little bit gradient, a little less strong right at the edge of the line, which I know many of you are looking to achieve to keep it as natural and authentic as possible. The color on his treatment came out fantastic. It matched perfectly with the side shaved hair, and he's going to be cutting his hair a couple times a week just to maintain that look. But as you can see in these photos, and if you check out the video of his testimonial, just an amazing result, massive game changer for him from where he came out with longer side hair and not much hair up top to where he ended up after this treatment. It was just an amazing transformation and definitely one of my favorites over the past year. Okay, next up is a client that also had an amazing transformation. This client suffered from severe hairline recession. And so there was still some hair through the crown area, but the majority of the front half of the head had thinned out and receded. So we did a big hairline transformation for this gentleman. He opted for a more linear, a little bit more of a tighter, sharper hairline, but still natural, definitely youthful, definitely a little bit more linear, but at the same time it fit his head shape, it fit his style. And you can see here the framing of the face that we achieved, not too low. Okay, we never want to go too low with a hairline, we want to keep it real, but you can decide on a style whether you want it to be a little bit more clean cut, a little bit more edged up, or if you want something a little softer like you saw on the previous transformation. So here is an amazing result. This client was super happy with it, and it definitely changed the framing of his face. So for the next result, I want to show you a part of the head that sometimes we don't always see, but I know many of us that suffer hair loss definitely know is there, and that's the crown thinning, the crown balding that you get in the back of the head. And this is a result, it's a great result. It's actually pretty typical to what we do, but I just want to show you what we're able to achieve in that crown area of the scalp. So for this individual, he was suffering a decent amount of thinning. There was still some hair there, but it was very thin, so that horseshoe, as we call it, was starting to show. And as you can see here, after a couple sessions, we were able to fill in density and replicated follicles into that crown area, and this client keeps the existing hair pretty short, which really just erases that border, that pattern of hair loss that is very typical for someone that's suffering hair loss. So this was a really cool result. We filled in density throughout the top on him as well, but I just really wanted to show you guys what's possible to really get rid of and finally once and for all hide that crown thinning that's very common with hair loss. So next up is a result coming out of our Houston location, and as you can see, what an awesome result and transformation. This client was about a Norwood 6, and they requested a very youthful, bold, kind of linear hairline look. You can see the edges are a little bit tighter, a little bit sharper. It's a clean style. It fits this individual perfectly. The profiles come in on that nice little angle. We always want a profile to come in around like a 75 to 85 degree angle, and these profiles fit that description. We tied it into their existing hair on the side, and that top line sits perfectly on this client's head, so it frames the face. It's very youthful, and just an awesome transformation out of Houston. So this next result is a great example of how scalp micropigmentation can work with someone that maybe isn't completely bald. This client himself was about a Norwood 5. So if you're familiar with the Norwood scale, they still had some hair up top, but it was very thin in the hairline area. It was starting to thin through the top part of the scalp. So we were able to blend our pigment in with the existing hair, and just look at that. It's amazing. You can't even discern what is, the replicated pigment, the replicated follicles that we created versus their real hair, and it just is seamless. And that's the whole point of this procedure, is that it mimics, replicates, and blends perfectly with any existing hair to create the look of a short, buzzed, or shaved head. And yeah, it's just amazing. You can see a lot of the detail. This hairline is slightly broken, meaning that it's not as sharp as some of the previous ones you saw. So very, very natural, and just an awesome result for this individual. All right, guys, are you ready for this one? This was a big hit on our social media channels, our Instagram page, because it is an incredible transformation. This client came to us after having received a few hair transplants, so there was scarring involved from the hair transplant surgery, and that's something we of course do, is to help conceal and camouflage those linear scars. This client also added density and wanted to fill in the whole top part as well. And just check out this transformation. Wow. You can see that we were able to really, really well camouflage those two linear scars in the back, and then also blend the pigment up through the crown and the top area to erase that pattern horseshoe that we talked about earlier. And this is just an amazing, amazing transformation. This was done out of our New York office. The client decided to leave that little accident scar. That's an authentic accident scar that person had. So they left that, but we covered the two main surgical scars, filled in the crown, and as long as this client keeps their hair at a relatively short length, it really will disappear. So awesome result, one of my favorites over the past year. And if any of you have had prior hair transplant surgery, this is a great example of what we can do to help. Okay, next up is a client who traveled all the way from Germany to have treatment done by us, which is something that's amazing. It still humbles me today, is that we get clients from all over the world that will travel to us to have their treatments done, which is an awesome, awesome thing. And this client had a great transformation. This is a good example of a more subtle, a more natural, a little bit more mature look. As you can see, the hairline isn't as low as some of the others we've shown. It has a little bit more recession, a little bit more natural curve to it, which is great. Remember, the cool part about scalp micropigmentation is it's customizable to each individual. So this individual decided to have, the restoration of a hairline, but nothing too aggressive, something that fit his style, fit his age, and we achieved a slightly curved, slightly receded hairline, broken, a little softer at the edge, so it's not as linear, and it's just an amazing result. And if you could take a look at the profiles as well, we did a little coloring in on the profiles just to restore the side part and the profile of his face. And this client went back to Europe a new man. All right, next up is another awesome transformation, this one on an individual with a little bit of a darker skin tone, so you can see how the treatment can adapt for both lighter skin tones and darker skin tones, and that's just on your practitioner being able to adjust the pigment dilution. Okay, so for those that have a little bit of a darker skin tone, we go darker with our pigment. For those that have lighter complexion, lighter hair color, we are able to dilute the pigment down more, make it a lighter tone. And this transformation is awesome. You can see it's a little bit more of a linear, edged up style, typical to what you would see from going to the barbershop. We created nice lines. Okay, the top line is nice and crisp. The profiles come in at a nice angle, and it blends very, very well with the existing hair. And you can see the before photo, from the before to the after, what a difference. And even the smile, that's a big part of it. You see the big smile after having the treatment done. So a great result, one of my favorite from the past year. Okay, let me show you another really amazing scar transformation that we achieved. This is an FUT hair transplant scar, and yeah, the pictures pretty much say it all. You could see the major difference between the before and after. After 3 sessions, we were able to get a good amount of color inside that scar, also blend around that line so that it really conceals and diminishes that scar tissue that was left over from surgery. And it's just a really amazing transformation, and this client is over the moon with the result, because now they can, you know, shave their head and not fear the back of the head showing that linear scar. Okay, well, here's a bird's eye view to show off how effective scalp micropigmentation can be. Look at that before and look at the after. The before, this client was about a Norwood 6, very little to no hair up top on the top scalp, and you could see we were able to replicate those tiny little hair follicles from hairline to crown. And what an amazing seamless result. This person now has density, now has the look of tiny little hairs on their scalp, and can sport a real short buzz cut. And it just brings back the years, it brings back the youth. And this is just a great detailed example of how real and authentic our treatment can look, and how it can help someone that's even suffered extensive hair loss through the top of their scalp. All right, let's keep it rolling. Here is another great result that we have had over the last year in Scalp Micro USA. Actually, this client was in pretty recently for a few sessions. We did hairline restoration as well as adding density throughout the top scalp, even where there was some existing hair, to thicken it back up and make it look more full, adding density. And this client chose a angled hairline, has a little bit of recession, has a little bit of a widow's peak to it, super natural. And this client is very, very happy with the results, and he should be. It's a great example of what scalp micropigmentation can achieve. All right, last up is our client Darren, who you may have seen on another one of our videos. Darren came to us in our Los Angeles clinic to have his treatment, and he's filmed a testimonial, and the results are definitely one of my favorites. Darren's an awesome guy. He came to us having struggled with hair loss, and he was using things like Topic powders and Rogaines and different types of solutions that weren't really working for him, and they were impacting his day-to-day life. He's an active guy, he likes to box, and you know, the hair loss was just getting in the way of his daily activities. So he came to us, and we were able to achieve a really, really amazing natural result. We restored that hairline, we added density through the profiles to give a really proper framing to his face. He's a young guy, and now he looks his age, and even more important, he's able to get up every day and not have to worry about using any products or any type of, you know, pills or potions to combat hair loss. He just has a look, he can be active, he can get back to boxing and running, and just enjoy his life. And the result is amazing. Check out his testimonial if you haven't already. Definitely one of my favorites over the past year. Okay, so there you have it, some of my favorite results over the past year. To be honest, we could be doing this all day. We treat thousands of clients each year, and the transformations are truly incredible. It's something we as practitioners never get tired of seeing, these amazing before and afters. But this is a small example of what we're able to achieve. Hopefully this video helped you get more familiar, more comfortable with the service and what scalp micropigmentation can do for you. If you do have any questions, be sure to call us or email us, or even leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. We continue to put out testimonials and tutorials, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.